Hey everybody, welcome to No Wrestling in the House, our family podcast made by family, not for family, because we swear sometimes. It's Victor King Vic and Dan Nothing Like the Right Hand Almeida. And here we are for another episode of our premiere flagship show, No Wrestling in the House. Dan, how you doing?
Lonely, Victor. Very lonely.
I got that, yeah. So much so that you changed your name. I think this is...
Yes, legally and professionally.
Spiritually, and all right, Dan, we're gonna get right into it. Most of you, if you've been listening to this podcast, you know Daniel usually takes the helm of this. I'm going because Daniel's just been really extremely busy, and just doing little bitch things. And I think
I would say an internship, but
little just bitch things, just absolutely, but not focusing on what's important to me, to you, the fans, wrestling.
Absolutely.
And here we go, Daniel. I got a couple of points here I want you to run by you, and I know you've still been focusing on really what's been going on in the world of wrestling.
Absolutely. And, no way to avoid it in my life.
No, exactly. I'm going to start off actually because Backlash happened recently. A lot of people have definitely given it labeled as the worst pay-per-view of the year. You know, especially dating back to, I guess, last year's Battleground was the real doozy for me.
Yeah.
Dan, what did you think of the show? I think what really hurt it for me was, I think about a week or two before Backlash, they had that god-awful We Are the World commercial that talked about the dual brand pay-per-views, and it just disgusted me.
For the catastrophe that was our waning interest on the product.
Yeah, it hurt. It's like, oh, how much more of this can I take? I thought a hologram of Michael Jackson performing his verse was about to pop up in that commercial. It was just hurtful. But yeah, the show was bad, to say the least. Yeah. And
you know, overall, I didn't hate it. I thought there was a lot of still really good parts to it. I was disappointed by the Shinsuke Nakamura AJ Styles match, but I did know that they were going to extend that feud further.
Yeah. But it just came so soon after extending it.
Yeah.
You know, a week or so before the greatest Royal Rumble.
So really, it's just, and of course, we both got really mad with how they pushed back the WWE.
Yeah, I think that sucked a huge part of the show out of it for everybody. Where I got angry.
Yeah,
I actually, when I saw Shinsuke and AJ were going next, I legit was upset, and I was like, and as we'll discuss a little further, a lot of fans did, and so much so that they walked out of the main event apparently.
So, yeah, compared to the other shows, it was definitely the worst. Yeah. But I think you're underestimating or overestimating the capabilities of WWE from doing a worse show.
Yeah, I think it's just weird that it came at a time where, you know, they said that they were experimenting what, I'm not sure. I'm still kind of confused about that. But the dual brand show just it seemed, you'd think that you would just get all main event caliber stuff when Backlash was, you know, a bad episode of Raw or SmackDown without promos.
Exactly.
So I think
that's a good way to sum it up, actually.
Exactly. So coming out of Backlash, one of the big topics is Roman Reigns becoming a heel. A lot of people have been talking about it. I've been reading some Roman Reigns interviews this week where he's even acknowledged Stone Cold going on his podcast saying that he thinks Roman should turn heel.
Yep.
Roman is saying some things that just very company backed up things, in my opinion. He's saying as long as people show up, he's doing his job, you know, reaction good or bad. One thing that kind of gives Roman Reigns a Donkey of the Week label for me is when and I'm a Roman Reigns fan. I just want people to understand that.
I think both of us appreciate his work.
Yeah, and what gave Roman Reigns a Donkey of the Week for me was he said that as long as people come and sit and watch the show, he's done his job. This comes a week after there's video proof of people leaving their seat during his match. So Roman, are you doing your job? It's just, I think the company's doing him no favors. Absolutely not. They're not. Like whether he does good performances or bad, the backlash is gonna be what it is, and they just need a different direction of it.
I'm so tired of the clips showing oh, Roman technically left the cage first, and all these things,
and it went nowhere.
And I'm like, this is absurd.
It led to a referee apologizing, and nothing. Brock is still off the show.
Yeah,
we don't want Roman versus Brock 4. You blew
I think
it.
even like
you should have just gave him the title at WrestleMania. You should have honestly just had it,
Yeah.
gone with it, and because now we do not want to see that match again. You know?
No, I don't want to see it. And if we have opportunity to talk about this topic, I just it's really, again, we do appreciate Roman Reigns. We both believe he's a skilled professional wrestler.
Yeah.
I can't believe that anyone could so boldly lie about their draw. I don't know who's in his ear. I don't know who's saying like, oh, you know, you're the reason why these people are coming to their seats. It's not.
No.
WWE, the brand, is the reason why they're coming to their seats.
Yeah.
And that's kind of been a transition from the 2000s going onwards, where it was making the brand the draw rather than the performers. But the performers were what keeps us in our seats.
Yeah.
The performers did not keep those people in those seats. Both very capable wrestlers, Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns, were incapable of keeping people in their seats. Why is that? We should be questioning that. We should be wondering that. If, you know, it's another school day the next day, which a lot of people said that
none of the excuses are valid.
I've brought nephews to shows, and we've stayed even though we knew school day the next day, because we expect the show to go longer than 11 p.m.
One thing that I find funny, and I kind of want to use this as an example, I've gone on this podcast before saying that, you know, my wife now has gone with me to wrestling shows, and she's, you know, just to kind of not necessarily back up, actually to counter argue what, you know, Roman, you know, WWE pushing Roman to children and women or whatever, and to casual fans. So my wife doesn't, you know, she won't watch it on TV, but she doesn't mind the live shows when we go. Yeah. And the first time she went with me, it's so funny having to explain to her or any new wrestling fan, because it's true. Like this, if they want to bring in new wrestling fans, how come I have to explain Roman Reigns to people? And I had to explain Roman Reigns to my wife. You know, she obviously is like, hey, look at him. He looks pretty cool. He looks pretty good, whatever. Yeah. And why is all the fans booing him? Oh, well, they're booing him because... So I'm like trying to explain that. And then at the end of the day, she's like, oh, okay, I like Seth Rollins. So, you know, and it's true. And I'm like, well, honey, we all do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's sad.
Gabby should be their target audience.
Yeah, exactly. And when you're thinking like, you know... Back to Stone Cold, who wouldn't show Stone Cold to their friends at school, or you know what I mean? And Roman, like, how do I explain to people that you're supposed to like this guy when nobody likes this guy?
And it's clear that kids are capable of liking other people. There are kids who are big fans of Seth Rollins. Yeah. There are kids that are big fans of Finn Balor. Yeah.
It's no longer, like, I understand, for example, Chris Jericho, who I like to listen to, and I think he's a really smart guy. I understand where he came at when he said that people are booing Roman because it's the thing to do. Now it's the cool thing to do. It's just beyond that now. It's just to the point where we're just it's not the cool thing to do. We're just demanding change. Yeah. And something to freshen up the product. And because the fact that you put them on last... You know, to what I said to you was the Samoa Joe feud with Roman Reigns, the main event of Backlash, meant nothing. Yeah. One is on Raw, one is on SmackDown. It means absolutely nothing. Even with the screwy finish of the WWE title match, you have just smeared shit all over it. And it was just an unnecessary evil. Like such an unnecessary thing to do to put a bad taste in all of us.
And I think like to juxtaposition to like, oh, when it's cool to boo somebody, I would argue at least now people boo John Cena because it's fun. Yeah. Like I think at least from the people I speak to, unless you have like a really you're really mad that he didn't do the job for Nexus or anything like that. we still say John Cena sucks because it's fun. And it's
and
cool.
John Cena knows how to play. John Cena has the experience, not just the experience, but the skill and the ability to play off of that. Roman doesn't.
Yeah.
Roman will literally... Here, for example, a John Cena promo, no matter how many boos it's met with, he'll find a way to get you to pop. You know what I mean? You'll start booing John Cena, but then he'll say that I'm going to face The Undertaker. And everybody cheers because they want John Cena to face The Undertaker. Yeah. Roman Reigns will start to get booed, but he'll push through that promo that you know has been prepared for him.
For sure.
He'll just push through it as he's getting booed. There's no...
it's a disdain for maybe not Roman as a person, though I think some people are going as far to say Roman as a person because of the things he says on Twitter and such. But also, it's a disdain for the position Roman is put in. Yeah. And that is very different from at least modern day John Cena. Because yes, when John Cena was holding that world title, was main eventing every pay-per-view, was constantly having to rise to the top against R-Truth, it was a disdain for where he was and wanting other people in that place. Yeah. But now John Cena is looked at as a veteran, at least from my perspective. I don't have a problem with John Cena now. I do have a problem with Roman Reigns right now. Yeah. And oof. But yeah.
All right, next up on the plate, we got I made a note of Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey being announced on social media. And no build to it, and Ronda Rousey's second major fight being for the women's title. Yeah. Daniel, we've been waiting for Nia Jax to become women's champion. It came in a face as a baby face, as opposed to the destructive heel that I thought it was going to be when she originally pushed for a major run. Daniel, thoughts? What do you think of? I don't doubt that they're going to put on a good match. I do think. Yeah. If you've seen any of what's coming out of, I believe it was Switzerland, Rousey fought Mickie James, and it was apparently really good. Ooh. So
I would actually love to see that.
So there's tape of it or whatever, and it looks good. Nia Jax, this is not questioning whether they can put on a good match. Is it the right match?
Oh, it's totally not. Yeah. So I'm objectively against this match because first off, Nia just got the championship, at least in my eyes. Yeah. She just got it out of, and is now entering a feud that is not with the champion prior to her. Yeah. So why are you putting her up to lose? Because there's no way you would make Ronda Rousey, this big signee, lose this early. So that makes me almost think that, because I'm of two minds of this, I want Ronda Rousey to remain strong because I see potential in that character and that and the feuds that will come in later. But I don't want Nia Jax to lose because I want her to remain champion, at least for another feud. Yes. With somebody else. I would have loved to see her take on a Sasha Banks as a heel or something. That for me, that's a little bit more natural. Yeah. But now you're telling me
you had actually the building blocks in for, for example, what I would have done was, and again, we never booked a match, but that's not that we're fans and we have every right to just complain. What I thought they were going to do, not just what I would do, what I thought they were going to do was going to be Ronda Rousey and Natalya teaming up and fighting Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, yada yada. Yeah. Natalya turns her back on Ronda Rousey, and that's a great first one-on-one feud to really have against such a talented worker as Natalya, who can really guide her through and sell well for what Ronda would bring to her, and then have maybe Ronda, post SummerSlam go for the title, because guess what? You got Ronda Rousey facing Nia Jax for the Raw's women's title. Don't forget that you have Asuka challenging for the SmackDown women's title. This could lead to Survivor Series if they do the champion versus champion again. Big Asuka versus Ronda Rousey match happen at Survivor Series. I just don't think this is the time to do it. I don't mind Ronda Rousey becoming the inevitable champion. Her walking around with that belt on interviews would be great. Oh yeah. But it's just not. It's just not where we thought it was going. And WWE's social media account is just like 10 steps above Kurt Angle, clearly, because they just go on a rampage. And it just killed it for me. You did not watch Raw, I guess. Yeah, I know you're really busy. I know. There was just a lot of coming out. I think it was an NBC event that was kind of where the news came out of, and you just see a lot of Rousey hugging Charlotte, and it's just not what I want during my wrestling program.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, you don't see the cast of Game of Thrones hugging each other during the Game of Thrones show.
You don't see that it stopped midway and going, well, here's the Game of Thrones characters.
Yeah, because then don't tell me 1 minute they're characters and 1 minute they're not, and it's just because it's just throwing my mind for a spin. So it's just very non-sports entertainment like.
Yeah,
for how they've been going on about this, and I'm just not a fan of this right now. And you know, Ronda winning is the call to make, really, but it's just not the right time for Nia Jax. You know, and she just overcame a bully, so and really silly.
And I didn't like that story, of course, but
very forced.
You know what? She has a smile. I think there would have been give her one more feud where she can overcome something. Mm-hmm. And it would have been great. I don't know. It could have had the potential to be great. Let me be clear. But I think you're cutting her down way too soon. Mm-hmm. She's not going to win again against Ronda Rousey. Yeah. There'd be no booker. And in my opinion, if they make her heel, if they have her do a heel turn on Ronda, that'd be even worse. Yeah, that'd be more offensive. Yeah, in my opinion. Whew.
Yeah. All right. Well, getting into Money in the Bank, we have not every match is not only not finalized, but not all the participants are finalized. One thing that I like to note is that Raw and SmackDown will be facing each other in the Money in the Bank matches. I think that's really good. I think that's the right way to go.
Do we know the number? Is it going to be 6?
I believe it's 8. Oh, it looks like 8. Yeah. Okay. So 4 and 4, which is good. Daniel, do you know some of the participants?
I do know that the New Day. One of the New Day will be going. Now, you cannot see this since we're not a video cast, but I am wearing a New Day Pop shirt, which I proudly wore to my internship. Yeah. But they're choosing which New Day member. Now, I think the obvious choice would be Kofi Kingston because he is a high flyer. But a bit of me wants to see if they would present Xavier Woods. Because I think we see Kofi... And then we see Big E, and we see very clearly their skills. Yeah. We know that Big E can crush you in his pecs, and Kofi can jump on you and kick you through a wall.
Well, we've seen flashes of greatness from Xavier Woods.
So I would actually like to see him there. Mm-hmm. Now, I think if they were an actual team, they strategically talked about it. You know, they would obviously send the best guy for the job, which would be Kofi, but. You know, I think they're leaving it kind of up there. Yeah. Maybe to potentially put Big E in there because I do think that, at least from what I've heard, there's a lot of upside to Big E. There's a lot of potential that people see in Big E. Yeah. And if they do go their singles ways, Big E would, in my opinion, have the most upside.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the if I'm not mistaken, I think the men's is just waiting on one more entrant. I do know that Samoa Joe will be taking on, wow, forgive me, I'm not too sure, Big Cass, maybe, in a qualifying match, and I believe it's for the last spot. Some notable heels, some notable faces in this match. You got Balor, you got Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens.
That's going to be good.
You got some real big names. Miz. Yeah. Now, Dan... Money in the Bank, should it always be a heel?
Oh man, it's best when it's a heel.
Yes.
I think the one time John Cena won it,
that was by accident. Very clearly.
But you know, I think if you do it with a face, it has to be done almost. It has to be resolved very quickly. Mm-hmm. I guess technically Dean Ambrose was a face.
Well, he was. Yeah.
So he was a face, right, and I do like that he cashed in right away.
Yeah. We also have Daniel Bryan. You know, this kind of goes back to when we kind of paused watching wrestling a little bit every month or so. But Daniel Bryan was a face.
But was he not Hell No at that point, or was he not No Bryan?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, because hell no, he was before. Because if you remember, he went into WrestleMania 28 with the world title, right? Lost in 28 seconds.
Yeah,
and
but
that
he
was before Team Hell No.
Okay.
Team Hell No, I believe, was the year after. Yeah. So, I mean, two big heel names that kind of come out are obviously Miz and Kevin Owens. Do you favor any of them? Do you think no, Braun Strowman would take it? Like Strowman, it kind of seems like the obvious pick, but he doesn't need Money in the Bank.
No, he
You know
just, especially since I don't know how much value they're putting on the Greatest Royal Rumble. They did have the trophy out, I think, the Monday after. Yeah. So I think they are putting some kind of. They're going to be mentioning it. Yeah. Hopefully, at least for the few couple of weeks or months. So I wouldn't give it to him. He doesn't need it. Yeah. I think he just needs to go out and kick butt and continue.
But do you think his role is slowing down? He was by far the biggest babyface in the company.
I do not like his matching with Bobby Lashley, because I think he's not as charismatic as everyone would hope. I heard about a promo he did.
Yeah, where I don't want to talk about what's going on with his sisters. Him. Yeah, and him and Sami Zayn. It was not a good episode of Raw.
Was it not? No, I'm feeling it wasn't. No. But I don't think Bobby Lashley, even in TNA, was very charismatic. Mm-hmm. But that wasn't his strength.
In-ring work was good.
That wasn't his strength. You had to present him as what he was. He's an MMA fighter as well. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know that, he's done some things for Bellator and some other promotions. So I think they need to present him as legitimate, and not try to give him the mic so often. Yeah. And in my opinion, why would you? Like, I'm not against him being a tag team, but maybe with somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Well, they randomly had him tag with Finn Balor this week. It's just a lot of weirdness is kind of going on with Strowman, to be honest. He should be just in the world title feud right now.
For sure.
But, I definitely agree. Do not give him the Money in the Bank. I do. Well, I mean, Miz or Kevin Owens would kind of be the two for me. I think KO maybe would be the pick.
Would you think KO?
Yeah. And he's already been the champion, but it's sad.
But yeah.
Well, no, Universal's a world title.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that. And especially with how they've been treating the WWE World title, clearly Universal title is the title. So
do you think, okay, so do you want it so that they can cross over brands and challenge Brock Lesnar?
I hope that whoever cashes in on the opposite brand, just to kind of surprise you.
Yeah, and just to show you that it can't be done.
Yeah.
Then in that case, I guess so Miz is on SmackDown currently.
Yes.
Okay. So I would like Miz to win, and I would like him to take advantage of whoever defeats Brock. Yeah, they will be beat up.
Yeah.
And Seth Rollins has shown that you can take advantage of even somebody midway during a match. So even though I don't trust that they'll put the title on Miz, I think he still is keeping himself nice and relevant and great. Mm-hmm. This is more of a dream. I would like it to be the Miz. But if you want to actually put money on it, I would say somebody like KO would be better.
Mm-hmm. Well, interesting talk. So a lot going on there in terms of Money in the Bank. Good early guesses. For the women, I think everybody's kind of just screaming Ember Moon.
Ember Moon, for sure. That'd be the best. Yeah. So that, in that case, it's a face. Yeah. So it'd be the best if a face held it. Especially since the last time Carmella held it for so long. Yeah. So
I would like to see Sasha, kind of. I think I don't want to see Sasha. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I thought we were already going to get Sasha versus Bayley. That's a whole nother topic. We haven't, but I would like to see just heel Sasha become Money in the Bank. I don't know. I know she's definitely not qualified for it yet. Yeah. But I don't know if she lost a qualifying match or not. It's kind of hard. It's a lot to keep up with. I'm trying to remember. But they only have I think 3 out of the 8 or whatever participants announced, so it's still very fresh with the women's scene.
I really liked it last year, other than the result, of course. Yeah, but
I like the result because I said Carmella, but I didn't like how they got to. Obviously, nobody liked how they got to that.
I didn't like that they did it again on SmackDown on Tuesday.
No, it took away from the allure of everybody seeing the first one. Next up, I got AJ versus Nakamura, going to take place at Money in the Bank. If you had asked me last week, I thought it was going to be a last man standing match simply because 2 men did not answer the count of 10 in their previous match at Backlash.
Which is such a great and classic way to end a match. Yeah. Like, that's something you don't see in WWE because I don't think they're willing to allow that to happen too often.
I think,
but it's so resolute. It's so cool. And, like, we all know that.
I just think people didn't like how it got to there. The fact that it was a double kick to the nuts. I think that's what, I think that's what
Road Dogg booked that. We all know.
Yeah. So on SmackDown, AJ and Nakamura went 1-on-1, and people have easily said that it was the best so far of the 3 matches that they've had
in WWE.
Yes, in WWE. Sorry, and winner was gonna pick stipulation, which has not been picked yet. Nakamura won that match. Daniel, do you think that's silly? Winner picks stipulation?
I think it's stupid when a winner qualifies to then face the same guy again.
Yeah.
For the championship. I always think that's awful.
This is stupid as well.
I think this is pretty stupid.
Because essentially, winner, like I had said to you before we started recording, was winner should be WWE champion. Then, if you just had 1-on-1,
like I would like it if, like I think you should have more segments, and they have to get creative about this, where they don't have like the feud, the match be between the guys you're trying to sell the pay-per-view for. You know, that in my opinion, like, why you're wasting everyone's time, because we want to see it anyway. So let us see it then, not now. So
one thing that actually I didn't go over with you before we recorded, I wanted to get your take on this. I was listening and I heard some mention about how Omega Omega wanted, I know this is switching gears to New Japan.
No worries.
Omega wanted to stretch out him and Okada, the trilogy, further than it was. I'm not too sure exactly the timeline and how many months was in between each match. But I know between, I think it was the second and third one possibly, he thought it was too soon. Even though it was a few months. Was it
so
not?
Technically, I think one of them was a part of what is called the G1 Climax. Which is a tournament. Yeah. So it kind of happened, and it was really good.
And then they were struck gold.
And so I think slightly before that, they had their match at, I think it was Dominion of last year or the year before. So it was very.
But it was still drawn out though, wasn't it? Huh?
The first one, after the first one at the Wrestle Kingdom, then they drew it out, and it was awesome when you heard, like, because what it was Okada was leaving the ring. Sorry, no, Kenny Omega was leaving the ring, and Okada said, "I want another match with you." Out loud, Japanese to a Japanese crowd, and everyone in that building just exploded because that's such a cool prospect. So it sucks that, like, because that was such a great drawn out thing that.
But what was the timeline? Do you know the timeline off the top of your head?
I think it was like 6 months. Yeah, or like 4 to 5, 6 months.
Well, my whole point is Omega still felt it was too soon.
So it was too soon for between the second and third,
which was,
I think, the tournament.
A month.
It
was
I
like
think
2 months,
probably a month or maybe 2 months.
Okay, so the reason why I bring this up as an example is because Styles and Nakamura, something that we waited for so much, finally took place at WrestleMania. Okay match. I thought maybe it was leading to greatness. That's why, like, for the next match, I thought Backlash was going to be the great match that we were waiting for. Because WrestleMania is just too jam-packed, right? Yeah. We get it. But now, here you go. They fought WrestleMania, fought at Greatest Royal Rumble, fought at Backlash, and fought on SmackDown. It's just a little bit over a month, and we've gotten AJ versus Nakamura 4 times. Yeah. 3 of them have ended. You want to know
why I think that is? Because the WWE... and lots of promotions do this, so it's not just them, rely so much on the screwy finish, the finish that's not resolute, the finish that's not like, one is the better man, even though there was a valiant fight. They always rely on somebody getting kicked in the nuts. In this example,
DQ, count out,
while somebody like Kenny Omega has an experience with long, drawn out feuds. I don't know if you are what's his name? Kota Ibushi, that's his name. He was in the CWC great wrestler. Him and Okada have one of the most storied histories with each other that spans promotions.
Yeah.
And is one of those type of things where I think it's like almost 10 years together. And that you've seen multiple fights between them. You've seen tag teams made between them. It's a long drawn out relationship that you can track and that has continuity and weight to whenever they see each other. So it's one of those type of things where
not very Cena and Orton.
No,
but they would hope that it would be Cena and Orton.
Cena and Orton, I'm not so poo poo on, but I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential for WWE to do that. You can see that in other. I think. What's a good example? I guess Triple H versus Undertaker. I like that example because they waited a year.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
at the same time, now you have a product that gives every week. You had 3 major shows in the span of a month. Yeah. And what do? What
else would you put there?
Yeah. The problem was, I think, I don't think the Greatest Royal Rumble match needed to happen. Yeah. I have a really big beef with the Greatest Royal Rumble because it was a glorified house show. Yeah. So since it was
very nice house show.
Very nice one. But since it was a glorified house show, you didn't even need to have Styles versus Nakamura.
No.
You know what I mean? They could have been involved in a tag match. AJ and Daniel Bryan versus Nakamura and Big Cass would have been.
I value contendership matches and the build up to, in my opinion, championship matches should only happen on pay-per-views at least as much as possible. At least world heavyweight should only happen on pay-per-views, which is why I think people really liked at least the first run of what Brock Lesnar with the world heavyweight championship when they was unified. That's quality because you valued contendership so much. You valued these 5-mans for contendership. That's something you're not going to see in WWE. You're going to have every other week with with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. So it's kind of have to bite the bullet because that's just the way they write TV, and I think they're still scrambling to figure it out. But there was just ways I think to do it. I think Greatest Royal Rumble. Now the more that I think about it, that match shouldn't have happened. I think it should have just been another way to continue the feud, and then because you got 2 back-to-back screwy finishes right off the top, both pay-per-views essentially. So I think that's just like you said, it's a tough bullet to bite on the fan side of it because now you have a dream match that's been spanned out to 2 screwy finishes in 4 matches. So, and one being a winner pick stipulation. Well, he just beat the world champion. Yeah. So I don't understand why. Okay, but whatever. So that's that. I think that was a really It would have been still as good if Shinsuke says, "Hey, if I beat Carl Anderson, then I can pick the stipulation for a match." And
you would have still accomplished the same thing.
Yeah, and Carl would be like, I can kick his butt. And AJ's like, you don't have to do this. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'll get you that stipulation for your match. But then Carl Anderson loses, maybe by even a screwy finish. Yeah. That would have still been fine. You would have developed characters for multiple people. Yeah. Carl Anderson, because he's a friend to AJ Styles, and you can establish that he would do that type of thing for a friend. AJ for not saying he wouldn't want his friend to sacrifice himself, and Shinsuke for still screwing over somebody who's related to the guy he wants to screw over anyway.
Yeah, very good.
That's better writing.
Yeah. Wow. But TV ratings, Daniel.
TV ratings.
Smearing shit all over the business. One thing here on the business side of things, WWE on the stock side of things are apparently doing really well.
You want to know? Do you know why that is?
Yes. So the TV deals. Okay. Raw. What I kind of want to talk about actually is the fact that Raw and SmackDown are anticipating to be on separate channels in the States, at least. I believe here in
channels
Canada,
or full out like networks.
It could be networks.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe NBC actually, as a network, would be getting rid of SmackDown Live. So it's a possibility that somebody else would be picking it up. One thing that people are kind of excited about, not only is it good for the business because it'll be a higher price kind of point for both, and as opposed to getting them as like a package deal type of thing, is that people believe that SmackDown being on a different channel, a different network, would make it different, would allow them more room to make the show different. a la, 2000 and what was it, the original brand? 2003, 2004, where those were on separate networks. And go back, SmackDown just felt very different from Raw.
It had a very different
feel.
feel.
Absolutely not. It feels they're the same show essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought that up just because I feel that it's a moment of excitement, I think, for wrestling fans here in Canada. I believe we will still have them on both on the same channel. We kind of always
Score.
had. Yeah, and
or no, yeah, it's Sportsnet, but yeah.
Even before they were both on USA, I think we both had them on the Score. So yeah, well, what do you take of that? You can just quickly. I just put it up in my list of notes here. I hope that I would love to see them as distinguished as possible.
I originally...
I love the fist through the glass.
Yeah. Originally, it was talks that Fox was going to get them both.
I know.
And Fox was going to get the entire WWE, I guess, license? Yeah. Is that what you call it? Yeah. Deal. While now that they're in two... does that mean Raw stays at 3 hours? Because that's what people were really questioning about if Fox got it.
It looks like NBC is going to keep Raw, to be honest. One of the big things about being on Fox was, correct me if I'm wrong, people were saying it'd be on network television, so I guess people need to pay for the USA channel? I don't know what it is. Guys. We have to actually pay for the Score.
Yeah.
360. So that's what I mean. I think people were excited for it being on Fox because you would get a much wider audience and kind of basic cable, if I'm not mistaken. People, I hope not. Yeah, so,
I actually don't know the dynamics of NBC being on what now.
Yeah, I know, but
in the United States.
Yeah, like
hello, all our fans in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Well, that was kind of the only point there.
Talk about your lovely sport and channels.
All In. The Cody Rhodes show. No,
yeah.
Not the Cody Rhodes show. Bullet Club show. Sold out in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously, WWE is not going to have competition on a global scale, but it just will be fun to have a cool, people will say a cooler product be on that stage.
For sure. And
10,000 people. Hopefully, there's no announcement on it being streamed or not, but they'd be dumb not to make it streamed.
Yeah.
If it's streamed, I will definitely be watching it.
For sure.
It's just a hipper, cooler, what us older guys are hoping for. So what do you take of that? And
I think, first off, I want to say that first, congratulations to those guys. That's incredible. Even Jim Cornette, who rarely says anything nice about anybody from
anywhere,
complimented Cody Rhodes and said that, like, in more ways than just being fantastic in the ring, you are like your father. You're a fantastic promoter as well, booker. So that is really cool. Like, I'm really excited to see what's going to be planned for that. I think this is, like, I'm already really interested by the indie scene, and I like to think that I'm more informed than, say, our nephew and other casual fans are. But I think this is an entry point to even deeper love for it. And I think you should not underestimate what kind of pinch this will do to WWE locally. Because while, yes, WWE is going globally and they're venturing into very scary territory for themselves, India did not pay off as much as they may have hoped, and other countries could possibly just drop them on site, but it's really cool to see that, locally they're going to probably do something to try to get fans to, rather than go to these shows, to pick WWE Live. They have the star power and all of that, but eventually, if we see those, the Bullet Club and other promotions increase their influence, we're going to see WWE have to change its product even slightly, at least for the house shows. Yeah, and we're going to see if that influences the TV as well.
Well, it's a good point. I don't know. I don't believe WWE has definitely not a pay-per-view that week. I believe not, or on the weekend. WWE likes to combat shows like that, and it'll be
a special suddenly.
Something will be going on, I think, that week, or that Sunday, or whatever it is. But yeah,
live from Boise, Idaho.
I think it's definitely a good thing. You know what I mean? People are loving Cody right now. I am. Even not watching it as much. I got my Cody American Nightmare Bullet Club shirt. I want the Cody 2020 shirt.
Yeah.
His personality has been really cool. He is... Okay, I don't want to say he's the top draw in wrestling, because that's been a big debate. That was a big debate between him and Roman Reigns. But he is expanding or helping a company grow.
Yeah.
And that's what you want out of any superstar. You know what I mean? Nobody right now is helping WWE grow. Flat out. Nobody is. You know what I mean? And until they give somebody that opportunity where, you know, I can show a casual fan why this guy is so awesome.
Yeah.
Now I kind of just want to show people why Cody is so awesome.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And that's what they need. But yeah, so that's just, you know, that's going on. You know, another news, New Japan, I believe, has their first non-Japanese president, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yes, I think this is really recent. And just kind of wanting to, you know, shake things up for the WWE. And
really?
Yeah, so
that's a big move.
Yeah. So pretty sure I just read that today. So that's really cool. You know, I guess that's about it. Now to just kind of end things off with this week's Cream of the Crop / In Need of a Pop, where we discuss who's at the top of WWE right now and / pro wrestling. I don't want to say pro wrestling as a whole because I don't want to offend anybody. But and who's at the bottom? Cream of the Crop, In Need of a Pop.
Yeah.
This week's Cream of the Crop, I felt there was no other choice than Seth friggin' Rollins.
Yeah.
Just blowing up working. He had a good match with Mojo Rawley. Like, that is just beyond phenomenal. He was the best part of Backlash, and him and KO put on a good match. And it's just, that IC title is looking so good, and he is the definition right now of that IC title being the stepping stone to a world title run. That is how it's always been. That's how, you know, you look at Austin as an IC champion, you look at The Rock as an IC champion, leading into them becoming world champions. That is what Seth Rollins is making it feel like to me. So he is definitely the cream of the crop this week.
Yeah, and I agree wholeheartedly. I don't want to dwell too much about it, but I think he's at least very close to this great babyface run with the World Heavyweight Championship, or with the Universal Championship, and it's a ready-made feud. You can just have Roman turn on him, and we would see, in my opinion, a fantastic feud. Yeah, because we didn't see Seth run as face with that title, though we are seeing prototypes of it right now. And I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. I find him genuine. Yeah. And knowing his wrestling acumen and what he's done before, the crowd finds him genuine. Yeah. And the kids like his theme. The kids like him. I
feel like the product would have got a really needed boost when Rollins made his return to Extreme Rules to a huge pop, pedigreeing Roman Reigns. And if Roman had been heel or become heel towards that feud, just would have done wonders for WWE.
But that's in the past, Victor.
That's in the past. But now hopefully we can still see
potential in the future.
Yes. My choice for In Need of a Pop is an unfortunate Roman Reigns. Yeah. Guys, WWE, I have defended Roman Reigns countless times.
We have gone to Raws with Roman Reigns
t-shirts. Okay, I have felt like John Cena walking into ECW One Night Stand when I walk in with my Roman Reigns t-shirt.
And we deserved every punch that was thrown at us.
Do you know what shirt I wear now, Daniel?
What do you wear?
Kingslayer.
Yes, you do.
And then also phenomenal one, I think.
Right now you're not wearing any pants. Yes. But
hey. But they have the reason why I'm choosing Roman Reigns is because in the midst of all this heel talk after Backlash, he's in a feud with Jinder Mahal.
I heard Ginger Mahal, by the way, and I got really excited for the fusion of Sheamus and Jinder.
No, guys, this has got WWE Vince written all over it. The last time we didn't like Roman Reigns, or people did not like Roman Reigns, they threw him in a feud with Sheamus. They knew that they would cheer him over Sheamus, and they feel like they just know they'll cheer him over Jinder Mahal. Look, you had him in a main event match with Samoa friggin' Joe, and people walked out. What do you think they'll do with Roman versus Jinder?
I would love to see a mass walkout.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Like, if you guys
But-
have such a problem, just walk out. And Jesus, they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But imagine if it was midway through a show and they just
walk out and come right back.
Go to the bathroom or
Yeah.
anything. You know.
No, you got and again, to bring all in back into the picture, you got CM Punk making his first, pro wrestling appearance. He's doing a signing that weekend, and it's just the same city. It's just they're just buzzing like crazy.
For sure.
You don't have to acknowledge number 2, but you got to make number 1 a little bit better.
For sure, and they're gonna have to. They're gonna. In my opinion,
I'd be surprised.
I think the water is gonna boil for them, and home sweet home, the United States of America, and Canada and North America in general, will not be as welcoming, and will want to, at least locally, for the hardcore fans, for the ones that are buying the merch and buying the titles, they're gonna be churning to, and you're not going to see the attendance at house shows. That's where you're not going to see it.
Yeah.
They'll tarp off everything in Raw and SmackDown. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
But house shows, if there's something else running that night, what's stopping me from going to see an indie show for a significantly cheaper price and don't have to travel as much and seeing some of these really exciting indie guys?
Yeah.
I think WWE needs to present a different product because the indies are coming in strong.
Yeah. And with 2 TV shows,
they
have if they completely switch up SmackDown as a test run, SmackDown could always be a test run for you. You'll see.
Yeah.
If it garners any response. Okay, ratings may be the way they are, but you'll hear it on social media. You'll hear it somewhere that, oh my God, SmackDown's amazing, just like you heard it when it first launched. Talking Smack's amazing. You got rid of it. Like, it's just a lot.
So
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't.
But you know what's so funny, Victor? They've already kind of done these test runs with these tournaments. The CWC.
Yeah.
We all loved it because it was wrestling presented as a sport. Mae Young Classic. We loved it because all these interesting characters, and we still haven't seen some of them back, which I saddened by. Yeah. Though apparently they signed that Storm lady. The
I
new.
think so.
Didn't they?
Yeah, Tony Storm. I heard.
I
love her. The Australian.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
They've signed her.
Oh, well, I don't. Think so. I don't know. I thought there was a rumor killer on that. But,
Really? Okay, then that's tragedy. Yeah. But I do know that the next thing I'm going to say is now a rumor, and that's the UK tournament is coming back.
Yes.
And that's apparently because of direct competition in the UK.
Yeah.
But if that's a yearly thing,
well, they've been talking about it launching a UK wrestling channel or not channel show.
Yeah.
So hey,
I would love
all
that.
power to them. Yeah,
I would love that.
Because again, these are things you can you can even claim that NXT's a test, and it got great response.
But I kind of understand when people say that NXT is in front of like the same crowd every week. It's really just meant for you to be a diehard fan. Yeah. And it creates diehard fans, but. Raw and SmackDown are in front of a bigger crowd. But you can still test run that. Yeah. And we've seen that. And I still think there's some things you can extract from these great tournaments to really make great shows. I want to see a European tournament rather than just a UK tournament.
Yes, that would be cool.
I think that'd be cool. I don't think... For me, I want a title for every region in the world. But I'm that dork who wants a title for every region in the world.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd like to definitely see the UK title a little bit more. Pete Dunne is quite...
He's
cool.
Awesome, dude. Yeah. He's cool. I like him. Again, I like to hate him.
We have not questioned talent. Yeah. WWE has the talent. It's just what you do with it. And
I would love to see an interview, a sit-down interview with Pete Dunne in a limousine with guys who are bigger than him.
But quick question before we go off the air. Yeah. I've been just doing a lot of research, and so I know that Meltzer broke his 5-star rating, and
he's done multiple times.
Yeah, now he does, right? And now he's done it all. Like
he's
Okada,
done
Okada was like, and Omega was the first to break the and now he's done it a couple times, and he broke the 6-star rating now, didn't he? Because so now you're just diminishing all those 5s, I guess.
That's the point. I think he's trying to do like a performance art about why these star ratings are pointless.
Yeah,
again, it's like power levels.
I love the fact that there's somebody that they actually look to in that sense.
Yeah,
but Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 not having a 5-star to it is just, I'm sorry, diminishes it for me. Because he did give Jericho and Omega a 5-star.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Omega, yeah, and you're looking, yeah.
Like it was a really good match. Yeah, I liked it.
Now you're just picking favorites because it's like that was not a 5. Like that was not perfection. It was great.
I do side with Bruce Prichard, which at least sometimes it's because it's in the Tokyo Dome, and it's because it's not a product he or maybe all of us are used to. Yeah. Well, he's probably used to by now, but we are not used to. No. I think to some degree he's trying to say that, look at this different product. Yeah. You should be watching this as well. Yeah. Maybe not like instead, but as well.
He's promoting it quite heavy. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Whatever. But Michaels and Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 is still... It's not even a 5-star, let alone now with your broken
star Hardys.
All right, guys. Well, I thought this was a really good episode. Just really spitballing what's going on. Guys, remember, this is fans. This is just us because we fucking love sitting down and watching the product. We're always going to do it, even when we roll our eyes. Yeah. All right. And this podcast, hey, was simply born out of two brothers who love shit talking all the time. And here we're going to do it with you guys. So, thank you for joining myself, King Vic, Dan. Yeah. And we will be joining you again next week. So thank you very much. Peace.